involved in voting on new music, voting on any type of subjects that we have on the show. Just tune in every Friday and you'll find out. So hit me up on Instagram at DJCHICCHICK. Every Friday night, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, only on K100 Radio.
And stop acting like a chump. DJ Chic Chick Live is what you want. It's going down.
Here's another exclusive interview on K100 Radio.
Okay, second one of the night. Y'all ready?
K100 Radio.
We reloaded. What up, though? Shout out to my people over there. DJ QB Finest. All right. Over there checking us out. Everybody's over there watching us on the Instagram Live camera. Shout out to the people that's watching us over here on this camera, on the Facebook Live camera. Thank you, guys. Woo World DJ Coalition over there on the check-in, man. Thank you, man. Salute for you taking time to check us out over here on K100 Radio, rocking with these independent artists. So this is another direct line interview. All right, we in the second one of the hour. We starting a little bit late, but don't worry about it. We can finna get a homie his full 30 like we supposed to do. You feel me? We just had to get that out of the way because that last interview kind of threw me for a loop. I had questions upon questions and more questions. So my apologies to everybody that was listening to that one, but I had to ask questions at the end of that one. All right, so listen. What we do over here on K100 Radio is for our direct line interviews. We chop it up with independent artists. All right, we show them some love. Over here, we have a straight-up direct conversation with them, basically, and that's why it's called direct line interviews. We talk about everything. We talk about the music, the grind, everything, all right? So tonight, we getting ready to rock for our second interview with the homie Wavy Jumps. Let me go over here on the phone line real quick and bring him on the air. Hey, yo, Wavy, what up, bro?
What's going on? What's going on?
Man, welcome to the broadcast, man. That's what's up. Salute. 21 of those. You know how it goes. What's up, fam?
Oh, yeah. I'm doing real good right now. I'm really happy to be on right now.
Absolutely, man. Well, listen, welcome to the broadcast. You know, I'm going to start the music real quick. Give us a salute, man. Where you from?
Right. I'm from Boston, Mass.
Shout out to Boston, all right? Shout out to the homie DJ Owens that plugged us in. Yeah, shout out to the homie DJ Owens, one of our DJs that rock with us over there representing Boston. He always on the grind out there. He knows about some of the new artists. He brung the homie over here to the show, so we finna chop it up with him, man. Yo, I got a question for you, fam. And I'm being honest.
Yes, sir.
Are you a Celtics and Patriots fan?
Actually, I'm a Patriots fan, and believe it or not, I'm actually a Raptors fan.
A Raptors fan. Wow. Okay. I'm asking because I happen to be from Florida. Like maybe you heard me talking on the other interview. And so we got your man. We got your mans down here balling for us. Got us in the NFC Championship. I hated Tom Brady for fucking 20 years. Almost literally hated Tom Brady for 20 years. He brung his ass down here to Tampa. Now he about to give us a chip. Now I can't hate on him no more. I just got to suck all that shit in and eat it, like fucking hold it all in because I kind of wanted to win because he on my team.
I feel the same hate you feel now. My buddy and I the other day, I actually put 20 on the Saints winning. He won 20 off of me. He bet on Brady. I'm not a Brady fan no more.
I know, right? I'm a Tampa fan, and I'm not a Brady fan. So we're like, okay, cool. He here. I guess we'll take these wins. That's my whole attitude about it. But I ain't going to complain. You know what I'm saying? Listen, this is K100 Radio. I'm your host, Blizzard. We on the live with the homie Wavy Jumps representing Beantown, man. So listen, man. Tell me about that grind, man. Tell me about being an artist up in Boston. You know what? I'm going to say this, and don't take this no kind of way, bro. Like, seriously. Don't take offense to it. So, like, there hasn't been a lot of big mainstream artists that have came out of Beantown, right? People feel like it's like one of the most slept on big cities that has a large population and a known name. You know what I'm saying? But doesn't have really artists that popped off. I think if we're being honest, who really popped from Beantown? Like who in Boston do you guys feel like represented the city the greatest in hip hop? I'm asking you that question.
Oh, that's tough. Obviously, to name two that comes to mind, Cousin Stiz and Michael Christmas. Those are like the most known straight from Boston. And then a lot of people right now, especially since I do what I do, I meet a lot of people and I collaborate with a bunch of people. And to name a few, I can name Deli. He's doing right. He's doing really well for himself. Trap Glizzy. There's a bunch of artists around Boston. It's just that we don't get the pop a spotlight we deserve. But there's a lot of hardworking people out here.
And I've heard a lot of really great music from Boston. Underground, independent artists that cats never heard of. You feel me? All right. We got one of the listen. We got a DJ right now saying he's looking for music over here in the Instagram Live. We're looking to put people on. So you never know what could happen with this particular interview. He's over on the Instagram Live saying that, but I don't know. Hopefully maybe something comes out of it. But we're gonna get to the music in a minute. But listen, I asked you that because it's like, yo, it's East Coast, all right. But Boston is not New York. Completely different. I've been to both of them. Not the same.
Yep.
At all. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? Period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as an independent artist that's coming out, right? Like you got that on your back. You got the fact that people ain't really just showing love to Boston. When you're an independent artist and you out here grinding and you representing your hometown, man. How do you feel like you can? What is it that you feel like you can bring to the game that will just ultimately separate you from the rest of the people, and maybe you're the person that maybe gives Beantown its props. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what do you think you're gonna bring to the game that's a little bit different than everybody else has already done?
Well, I would say what I bring is an ability to like hop on any kind of beat and do what I gotta do, and I personally go music first. I'm not very like, some rappers just stick to like a certain type of beat or like, they just do trap music, I try to make, actually like music that could be listened to many different kind of genres. And I feel like that would be what I could bring to the table, like a different spice to it.
Mm-hmm. Is the independent artist community like thriving in Boston? Like, okay, so a lot of people feel like they got to move to Atlanta or whatever. You know what I mean? To get on
I heard
or whatever.
that a bunch of times.
Right. So do you feel like as an independent artist you can actually grind and really just come up just straight being located in Boston, or do you feel like I gotta take it up to New York, or I gotta take it down to the A or whatever? Do you feel like you could actually grind all the way, stay in Boston, live in Boston, or do you feel like at some point you're gonna have to leave? Because everybody that I meet feel like they gotta leave Boston. You're not gonna get on there. How do you feel as an independent artist?
Yeah, and it can be easily explained, that feeling. Boston, is very different in terms of other cities, because out here it feels kind of, especially when you're an independent artist, it feels like it's a dog-eat-dog kind of world where, people don't kind of want to see you succeed, so it's really hard to get that fan base that rallies behind you and shows like consistent support, because everybody wants to eat out here. And if they see the next man eating better than the other, it's kind of like, very envious. I've heard that a bunch of times. A bunch of people want to move either to New York, to Atlanta or Miami. Mm-hmm. It's really difficult to come out here in Boston.
Mm. Yeah, it's a good answer. I was just asking, man, because, doing what we do, we meet indies from like everywhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, but when I meet people from Boston, which I've met a lot of artists from Boston, up and down the East Coast, going to like events and conferences and shit. So I've met a lot of dudes, and they be nice, and not even just dudes, like really females too. Like I've met some really dope females and R&B. Like I know, even though I have never really came to Boston and really just did an event or anything, I know from just meeting artists from other places and they traveling to come out, and they be like, I'm from Boston. I be like, damn, I done met quite a few dope artists. So it's just like, I'm just trying to get a vibe of like the culture up there, like the culture of Boston and hip hop and the independent artist community. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I was asking you the questions, because I don't know. I haven't necessarily really grinded up there and really, really came up there to do do interviews live or anything. But I keep meeting dope artists. So it's like, okay, it's got to be a culture. It's got to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be people up there working.
Absolutely. No. It's kind of like, what I can remember one of my performances that I've done. It was like kind of like in a art exhibit kind of thing. It was just like spaced out, and it was a bunch of artists performing there that night. And I remember, I think I was the second to last, but The last group that went, Ill Addicts, which is like a collaborative group out here from Boston. Shout out to them. They performed next, and the energy of that whole place was just like, because they're a little more established. It was just insane. It was like you would think they were looking at like Drake or something.
Right.
But yeah, I was given that opportunity, and probably a bunch of people kind of didn't know me. But as soon as I did my thing, everybody was vibing. It was a great night. A good time. Yeah.
All right. So we get ready to get into the music, and I actually had someone, my production assistant. She's great. Love her to death. Love her to death. This I don't know. Oh, maybe it was me. Whoever. Somebody had the files mixed up. So I got your song. Now you got a song called Miami, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what threw me off because the girl was from Miami, and I think that's why they got mixed up because they was like assuming Miami. I've got that song called Miami, and I got another song from you. What was that second song that we got from you? It's not labeled. It just says Wavy. I got Miami, and what's the other song?
Oh, the other song is Clout Chasers.
Clout Chasers. All right, Miami and Clout Chasers. I just want to make sure. So we got these two records, and I'm gonna get into them in a minute, fam. You know what I'm saying? But this is K100 Radio.
You are tuned into K100 Radio.
Chopping up with Wavy Jump.
R&B.
Representing Beantown.
K100, you bastards!
All right. Welcome everybody that's listening to us live on K100Radio.com. Everybody who downloaded our mobile app. Everybody listening on TuneIn Radio. People that maybe come on through, just breezing through on the Instagram Live or the Facebook Live page. Or if you're watching the replays on our YouTube channel or maybe listening on Spotify. However you are listening to this content and listening to this interview, thank you. And we appreciate you for showing love to our broadcast and these independent artists. All right. Independent artists have a hard time getting people to check out their interviews because it's like they're not a star, so people feel like their story ain't relevant, which is complete bullshit. And now that I say that, Wavy Jumps, tell me a little bit about what's the interesting part of your story. Like if you could just tell one part of your story that you feel like you got to talk about, you've already put it in your music. It's what defines you as an artist. Tell me about that one part. What's that one thing that you got to bring to the table in your story?
One thing I could say, oh damn, there's a lot to choose from. I can either go from way back or something that kind of fueled me. Because I started back in like 2016. My buddy who lived around the corner, he produced Miami. His name is Doughboy. Shout out to him. He just started making beats and so he's like, hey, you could come over my room, record and stuff. And I did a project that year, didn't do so well, and I took a break. But then the recent loss of my grandfather kind of got me back. Like it kind of motivated me. It was like, you know what? And I wrote a song actually. It's on my SoundCloud, and I think on all platforms actually, called Papa Speaks. And that kind of was just like basically the catalyst to set fire to me continuing to write songs and music and be more productive with it.
All right. So there's always a story. There's always an inspiration whenever you're talking to people, and it doesn't really matter if you're famous, huge superstar, just coming up, whatever. There's always a story. Everybody has a story. Some people's stories are, albeit more interesting, because it's full of drama. You know what I'm saying? Like people love drama. That's why there's literally a category of movie and TV show labeled drama. You got comedy. Shit that makes you laugh. You got drama, shit that's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Thrillers, action, drama is a fucking literal category of entertainment all in and of itself. So of course, if you've got a lot of bullshit going on, your life is interesting and people want to talk about it more, right? Which is crazy because as a person that's went through the drama, that shit wasn't really necessarily fun. That's crazy. It's like the more ain't that crazy, bro? Like how the more drama you have, you have to live for that bullshit. But that's what actually makes a better story. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yep.
I don't know.
It's like I feel like a lot of people try to gravitate towards like a dramatic person who's always like doing something nutty or crazy and stuff. Mm-hmm. If you're like a really laid back person, ain't got no beef for nobody, it's kind of it's like people are disinterested. I think people feed off the beef or the drama. It's true.
Yeah, I don't think nothing. I know I mean, we got social media. We don't need no other evidence. You know what I'm saying? Of how much people like bullshit outside of just all you gotta do is pull up your social media news feed, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, that's all you gotta do to know whether or not how much people thrive and love drama. So let's go ahead and get into the music, man. All right, we got Cloud Chasers, we got Miami. Which one of these songs you want to run first for the people?
Let's run Miami.
All right, tell me about Miami. Break this one down for me and give me an intro, and then we're gonna run this joint.
So, Miami was actually written probably, I think, 3 months before I heard the beat. You know how some people could write to a beat or they just write something and just, so it was basically a note I had a couple months back, but then I went to my producer's house recording another song. He showed me one of the beats on his computer, and that was one of them. And I was just like, wait, run it back. I think I got something that could go with this. Mm-hmm. And the rest was history. I laid it out, and it came out to a really good and catchy song, in my opinion.
All right, man. Listen, well, we're gonna check this joint out, man. And listen, I can tell you, bro. Like when we doing these interviews and we doing, you said something interesting before I hit play, and you said, I thought I saw. I want you to correct me if I'm wrong. But you was like, this is your first interview. Is this your first interview?
This is my first interview, yes.
So first of all, because of the nature of what we do at K100 Radio, we've had a lot of first interviews because we created this platform for the not for the big dogs. We created it for the artists on the come up, and we keep it designed that way. We keep ourselves grounded in that lane because that's what we do. But it's an amazing thing, yo. Yeah, so we've had a lot of first interviews, but just got to tell you, if this is your very first interview, you're gonna be all right because you're pretty comfortable. The conversation is flowing, there's no problems. You're pretty comfortable. I think you're gonna be all right when doing your interviews when you end up on one of those, big, huge platforms. You know what I'm saying? When you outgrow us, you know what I mean?
Well, thank you, sir.
I think you'll be all right, fam. I think you'll be all right. But now we got to get into this music and let the people hear the music. All right, that's important, but interviews are important as hell, bro. So nailing a good interview and doing a good interview is actually really beneficial because I tell you, some people we interview and it feels like we're talking to a brick, like literally, like bro, like this shit is boring as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing we can do. And this person is like
no.
hella boring. All right, yeah.
I ain't a brick.
All right, Wavy jumps. All right. Name of this joint is called Miami. Let's check this first joint out. All right, let's go ahead and check him out, man. Representing Beantown, man. Shout out to the homie DJ Opens. All right, he plugged this in. Shout out to DJ Opens over there. This is K100 Radio. This is direct line.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to Opens. Let's go, fam.
You are tuned to K100 Radio, hip hop and R&B.
K100, you bastards.
Yo, boy, killing this shit.
Whoa. Just be on my own. Though you made this, that's how it go. That's how it go. I just be on my own. Got someone known, gotta stay in the zone. Just to get shorty, she gave me some dome. Tell that little bitch that she bad at the bone, and I said it right home. I be right here with my comb in my hand. No pano Zay, gotta stay on my toes. Got me some friends and I got me some foes. Got me a wifey, I got me some hoes. Niggas is ready to go. I'm about to blow, so I'm ready to go. Don't wanna do shows till I hell on the hole, yeah, and that's how I go, yeah, and that's how I go. And that's how I go, 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 yeah, and that's how I go, yeah, and that's how I go. Go to Miami, avoid all the snow. Went to Miami where bitches do pay. I'm in the bad like it's sagging, I know. This flow is a killer, my mind is a killer, and that's on my niggas. Bitch, I'm in yup, so I bought a lift fillers. I'm flashing my phone so she know I got pictures. Put bread on ass like the bitch was a stripper. She pick up the money and that's how I tip her. Gone for the winter, I heat up like cease. Just set it off every time on the beat. Struck up a check, got a check on my feet. Beating myself, no respect on the streets. Booked a vacation, a lovely retreat. Be there for 2 days and I come right back. Did from her crib, said I'll be right back. Never came back and I blew her back. Back to the stew, about to finish the track. Nigga who you to say we ain't that and say these ain't facts. Get the work done, get the luggage and pack. Hit up Miami with a couple of stacks. Bitch, true turned up, haven't finished my taxes. Wrist like she glasses, turn you to stone. Let me get to the point like the top of a cone. Stay on my own, not someone known, gotta stay in the zone. Just to get shorty, she gave me some dome. Tell that little bitch that she bad at the bone, and I said it right home. I be right here with my comb in my hand. No pano Zay, gotta stay on my toes. Got me some friends and I got me some foes. Got me a wifey, I got me some hoes. Most of y'all niggas is ready to go. I'm about to blow, so I'm ready to go. Don't wanna do shows till I hell on the whole, yeah, and that's how I go, yeah, and that's how I go. And that's how I go. That's how I go. And that's how I go. That's how I go. And that's how I go, yeah, and that's how I go, yeah, and that's how I go. Mary Jane, my bitch, I light her up just like it's Christmas. Pussy boy, you looking at me too much, mind your business. Water on my wrist, causing me to get seasickness. But want no skinny bitch. I like women with thickness. Pray to God's forgiveness. I tend to be ambitious. We're blinded by the riches, misguided by the bitches. Baddie arching on my back, saying come and hit this. I died in that pussy, I was swimming with the fishes. Flow was getting too easy, so I had to go and switch it. I wanna go and get it, so I get it. I cannot quit this, I'm in my zone. She said I was big even though I'm not grown. Get her back blown and I send her right home. I send her right home, then I be on my own. I just be on my own, not someone known, gotta stay in the zone. Just to get shorty, she gave me some dome. Tell that little bitch that she bad at the bone and I send her right home. I be right here with my comb in my hand. Don't pop no Zan, gotta stay on my toes. Got me some friends and I got me some foes. Got me a wifey, I got me some hoes. Most of young niggas is ready to go. I'm about to blow, so I'm ready to go. Don't wanna do shows till I hell on the hole, yeah, and that's how I go, yeah, and that's how I go. And that's how I go. And that's how I go. And that's how I go, yeah, and that's how I go, yeah, and that's how I go.
It's going down. Here's another exclusive interview on K100 Radio.
K100, you bastards.
All right. K100 Radio, I am your host, Blizzard. Thanks for tuning into the show, all right? We rocking out with the homie, Wavy Jumps, man. Wavy Jumps is in the building. Hold on, let me turn his mic back on. Hey, yo, Wavy.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, fam. Yo, that one right there, that one had a real street vibe to it. Let me ask you this. I got to ask you a question, fam. Serious question.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Boston has its own sound?
Oh, that's a great question. Before I answer that, actually, I just noticed something. That song, I must have sent an old file of that song because that second verse, if you go to all the streaming platforms, that second verse doesn't exist. It's literally just hook, verse, hook, and then it fades out.
Oh.
And so I guess I must have sent an old. So you guys got something that nobody else ever heard. That verse was supposed to be in the vault, in the tuck.
Okay. All right.
but no. To answer that question, yeah, I think it's because we don't have anyone to look up to. I feel like when you have like a very prominent sound in a specific location, everybody else kind of gravitates towards it. Like so since we don't have anybody to go like, oh, if that's the sound that made it,
right,
then I should be kind of similar to it. Everyone kind of like does their own thing. Like I know a bunch of people who do R&B or like basically like mosh pit kind of music or then street shit and then like just rapping about other stuff. It's like I feel like everybody kind of does do their own thing and everybody kind of has their own sound out here.
Right. I understand. It's a question because I was struggling. I'm listening to that song and I'm like, does Boston have a sound that's like when you hear it, it's like, yo, that nigga gotta be from Boston. Like I don't think I've heard that yet. You know what I'm saying? That may be something like, but then again, you gotta have a mega star. How do y'all view?
Yup.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave that. I'm not gonna ask that question. Scratch that question. I ain't gonna ask that shit. I was gonna ask you another question, but don't worry about it. Listen, because I'll just reserve that one. Maybe I'll ask you at the end of the show, but I'll come back to that. But anyway, we've got another record too. All right. Hold on a second.
Yep.
Hold up. What was the name of this one again? Hold on.
Cloud Chasers.
Cloud Chasers. All right. Yeah, Cloud Chasers. And the music industry is full of clout chasers, bro. Like, you almost kind of have to not chase clout, but it's like you gotta. I don't even know the terminology to make it not offensive. You don't have to chase clout. You don't have to dick ride. You know what I'm saying? But you do have to pursue greatness in the industry in order to be great. You feel what I'm saying? Like you can't just.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't just act like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, if you want to be in the presence of greatness, you gotta get with the great people. And I don't know if that's dick riding or cloud chasing or whatever. Sometimes, more often than not, it does turn into that. You know what I'm saying? You know, but how do you feel about the industry? How do you feel about the state of the music industry right now? Now, we're not even talking about your career. We're talking about the state of hip hop. As an artist, you're trying to get into the music industry right now. You're doing this interview because you're grinding and you have a passion for music and you're doing music. But the music industry is kind of fucked up right now. What do you feel about the music industry, and what's driving you to want to actually still be in this game? Because the music industry is really doing bad. Like, especially with 2020. You know what I'm saying? When people couldn't perform live and live venues shut down, that's all they had. It's a lot of your favorite rappers is broke. But I ain't gonna say no names. But go ahead. What do you think about the industry right now?
The industry right now, and it's oof. I don't know. I've had conversations with my buddies about this a lot. I feel like it has to do with the attention span of the masses. Everybody has a shorter attention span than before, so everything needs to be kind of like cookie cutter. It's got to be quick. Like, if you drop an album, let's say 2019, and you're trying to make a really great album, and you take a couple of years to make that really great album, people will start to lose interest because of how long you're taking. Even though when the project drops, it might be incredible, but it seems like people just want, give me a single every kind of week or a month. Like, everyone is just like, it gets tired of albums and songs so quick. It's a really tough business, but when you have a passion for it, you kind of like push that to the side and, the best you can do is focus on your craft and art and hope that, it's appreciated when it's released. That's all you care about, honestly.
Absolutely. I mean, because I was going to be like, J Electronica, when you said that. You know what I'm saying? About taking forever in a day, and you drop some fucking stellar bars, and it's like, bruh, but it took you fucking 20 years to drop this album, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I want to hear it.
That's perfect example.
You know what I'm saying?
Perfect example, yeah.
That's the prime example of the past decade of, like, damn it, when is this project coming out? Like, I don't think we had anything that, we was waiting for that longer than Detox that we never got.
The only person right now that can come to my mind
Is who? Who else?
The only person I think who could wait years before dropping their project and it'll still be like relevant and people will still want it is Kendrick Lamar.
Yep.
Kendrick could he could take every 5 years or 6 years and people will be like, it's the Kendrick. It's because the quality of the music is so good.
Currently right now, I think he could get away with it. I still think even though he's doesn't have anything to prove, and he could just never do it again, and he's super rich, I still think whenever Jay-Z drops music, people are interested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they're interested. It's like, yeah, maybe some of y'all gonna like it, some of y'all gonna hate it, but they're gonna be interested. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna want to hear the song. Like, they're gonna just want to hear it. For some reason, they're gonna want to hear it. Yeah, I think he's another person. Like, you don't have to like him or love him, but the level of interest when he drops music is still always insane. It's like, oh my God, Jay-Z dropped music, and I'm like, bro, my fucking timeline and news feed goes black out. You know what I'm saying? Even with 444, I was like, damn, dog. It was a cool record. I liked it. It was a project, but I was flabbergasted by still how, he can just come out and just drop the shit and everybody's staying at attention like, what does he got to say? You know what I'm saying? So, but I think Kendrick is of that ilk too. And I think Kendrick should take years, at least 2, to drop a project because there's a lot to digest when he drops. You know what I'm saying? He's got enough.
Yes.
It's enough for you to hold on to for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? In between doing an interview and a collaboration here and there, I think it's enough to hold you. But everybody can't do that. All right, so I want to get into this. I asked you that because, we got Clout Chasers. Tell me about this record. What inspired this record?
What inspired this record is I try to like go for a more hook based kind of song because that's the thing. I'm like, I started off kind of just like writing a bunch, and this song came about. I was like at the studio with Ronti Studio, and I was trying to come up with the most catchiest kind of hook I could think of. And at the time, I was wearing my some off-white shoes, and that kind of inspired like lines in the song as well, and then it just became a hook that I just liked a lot. And then I told my buddy, let's look for a beat. We purchased it outright, and then we created it, I think, the next week after I wrote it that day at the studio.
Mm-hmm. You know, I heard you tell one example of you wrote the song before the beat, and where a lot of people have to write to the beat. You know what I'm saying? But you've already given me examples of the fact that you come up with ideas and then match it with a beat. And a lot of people, you know, have to write to the beat. There is no right or wrong way to do it, as long as it comes out hot. So I just noticed that you mentioned that, you know what I'm saying, with the other songs you talked about too. So we're gonna get into this Clout Chaser joint, all right? And we're gonna play this one, and we're gonna get ready to wrap things up. This is the homie Wavy Jumps, all right? He's representing Boston, Beantown.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But he's not a Celtics fan. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll be right back. K100 Radio.
You are tuned to K100 Radio, hip hop and R&B.
K100, you bastards!
It's that tropic vibes, you feel me? I drop ash on no tray, I put it on blue faces. Pistols on my feet, my shoelaces say shoelaces. Money stack addiction, never running through these. Can't fuck with car chasers, only want me if I drop ash on no tray, I put it on blue faces. Pistols on my feet, my shoelaces say shoelaces. Money stack addiction, never running through these pages. Can't fuck with car chasers, only want me if I'm famous. I drop ash on no tray, I put it on blue faces. Pistols on my feet, my shoelaces say shoelaces. Money stack addiction, never running through these pages. Can't fuck with car chasers, only want me if I'm famous. Know some niggas taking Xans just to feel painless. Take that hope, now I'm gone, make me feel courageous. Girl saw that ace of spades, now she feel flirtatious. She put lines on the table, grab a bill and then she trace it. All my niggas lit, we sipping on Patron. Little bitch want my dick, I'ma take her home. Drinking my styrofoam, cause her titties got silicone. Yep, my bitch know I'm a dog, bucking light, AMX. Pipe her up, I give her sex, now she can't feel her legs. Thirsty bitches on my back, like a nigga had a bite with some pads. Little mamacita, oh, they get a sloppy head. I drop ash on no tray, I put it on blue face. Pistols on my feet, my shoelaces say shoelaces. Money stack addiction, every running through these pages. Can't fuck with couch chasers, only want me if I'm famous. Know some niggas taking Xans just to feel painless. Drink that hope, now I'm gone, make me feel courageous. Your girl saw that ace of spades, now she feel flirtatious. She put lines on the table, grab a bill and then she trace it. Where we going to the island? Where we going? Fat ass like she worked the King of Diamonds. She do as I say, baby think my name is Simon. Yeah, she a Leo, so I fuck her like a lion. My shirt on Hawaiian, my necklace got some diamonds. Fuck her from the back, she looking bad, oh she eyeing me. Baby no, I'm supplying D. Strokes while she grab my tea, oh she loving me. Happiness is pussy, money green in a party. 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 I drop ash on no tray, I put it on blue faces. Pistols on my feet, my shoelaces say shoelaces. Money stack addiction, every running through these pages. Can't fuck with couch chasers, only want me if I'm famous. Know some niggas taking Xans just to feel painless. Drink that hope, now I'm gone, make me feel courageous. Your girl saw that ace of spades, now she feel flirtatious. She put lines on the table, grab a bill and then she trace it.
It's going down.
Here's another exclusive interview on K100 Radio.
K100, you bastard.
All right, we get ready to roll up out of this thing. That was the homie Wavy Jumps, man. Hold on, let me bring it back on the line. Wavy, we got to make sure we give out your social media, your website, whatever. Give out all the information that people want to check out this music, fam, and check out your grind. Go ahead.
Well, it's Wavy Jumps on all platforms. Very saucy dude for the IG. Those are the only IG is the only thing I'm on social media. And pretty soon this summer, music videos are definitely going to be on the YouTube page. But that will be all in the link on my Instagram. I have 3 albums out. Check it out.
3 whole albums out, man. So you've been grinding. You've been putting in some work. So, you know, you just got to keep pushing, fam. You just got to keep pushing and keep going. You dig? Representing Boston.
Yo.
But he's not a Celtics fan. Hey, the less Celtics fans, the better for me.
Oh yeah.
How do you actually live in a city like Boston when they so loyal sports wise and cheer for another team? Like how do you make it out of the bar without getting into a fight? Do you know what I'm saying? Like seriously.
The thing is, I keep that within. And the only reason why I'm a Raptors fan is because growing up, my favorite player was Vince Carter and T-Mac. So when they were both on the Raptors, it's like that's the team I gravitated towards. And that's the only reason why. But everybody out here, it goes nuts. You definitely don't want to yell at a bar, "Go Raptors," while the Celtics are winning and stuff like that. You definitely don't want to do that. Don't do that.
It's a roughneck city. You don't have to goddamn fight your way out there, bastard. You know what I'm saying? Probably sort of, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, Wavy, man. It was good talking to you, man. Yo, keep pushing, keep grinding, keep representing Beantown, and man, maybe you'll be the guy to put him on deck. You feel me? Keep grinding, bro.
I'm gonna try my best. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. K100 Radio.
You are tuned to K100 Radio, Hip Hop and
R&B. Rocking with us over here at K100 Radio.
K100, you bastards!
For our direct line interviews. Thank you guys for tuning in. Listen, if you missed any parts of these interviews, remember you can always catch them over on our Spotify podcast, on our YouTube channel. We actually slap them on the SoundCloud too. Just you know, a lot of people like SoundCloud. I don't know why people be hating on SoundCloud. A lot of people listen to SoundCloud. People be listening to our stuff on SoundCloud too. So there's still a lot of SoundCloud users. I don't know what y'all talking about. So we still gonna be over there. We still put our podcast and interviews over there. But listen, if you missed any part of it, man, just check it out. And you know, like we do these interviews with the independent artists because you know there's not a lot of platforms where they can go and just have a really a great conversation, a great interview with a reputable broadcast like we are, you know what I'm saying, and get the music played. And so this is like a service and something that we provide in order to help the independent artists. The goal is for them to get to those big time major network interviews if that's their goal and if that's their dream. And hey, you know what I'm saying, but in the meantime, in between time, there has to be a space that exists for really, for artists to come through and talk about their project and talk about their life and their story. And so that's what K100 Radio was here for. We're here to help them. We're here to play their music, but we're also here to tell their stories when we can. So you guys check out some of these direct line interviews. We had some really interesting people. Like both of these interviews were dope tonight. But Wavy interview was dope. But we also had, right before that, we had a female artist whose 13-year-old son produced her song called My Pussy. How does that work? That's not interesting enough for you? Fuck out of here. This is K100 Radio, man. Just stuff like that goes on over here. Independent artists have interesting stories. They're just not superstars. A lot of these independent artists that we run across, their stories are way more interesting than a lot of the people that you hear talking big time, on the main platforms. And because these guys we're independent artists, independent programs, we're living in the shit now. Like we got to get up and we got to hustle and do other things in order to pay our bills and take care of our kids, and we got to deal with all that craziness, and we got to still find time to create, and we got to present it to you, some of you loving people and some of you ungrateful bastards. All right, so listen, show some love to the independent artists, you know what I'm saying, in these interviews and stuff, man. Just listen to them, peep them out. And if it's something that you like and you hear that you dope, yo, what's a like? What's a share? What's a subscription to a YouTube channel? What's a playlist ad? Like on your own personal playlist. If you like the song, throw it on your own mix. Like, bro, what's a share? Like, that shit don't cost y'all nothing. It's free. So show some love to these independent artists. And we appreciate you guys. It's back to the music, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for Ill or Kill.
You are tuned to K100 Radio, Hip Hop and R&B.
Right.
K100, you bastards.
Later.
MidwestMixtapes.com, the #1 website for Midwest rap. MidwestMixtapes.com. They promote and market albums.